Hey guys, it's Andy
And Tom.
from Wapeach.com. This week's Retrocut is going to cover the Outfoxies released in the arcade, a seemingly generic fighter with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Um, but there's a lot more to it. So Tom, go ahead, do your
All right,
thing.
Outfoxies is kind of like a precursor to Super Smash Brothers. You can see our cast includes a giant bald black dude, some twins, a monkey, crippled dude in a wheelchair, and a girl with an iguana, and this girl, and our Arnold Schwarzenegger guy. So,
And
um,
Chimp.
yeah, and it's a pretty generic cast of characters, but the game itself is actually really cool. There's really huge levels, which was kind of like not common back in the arcade back then.
Hmm.
And it's like I said, it's really largely, in my opinion, it's like an inspiration for Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a precursor because that gameplay is pretty rare, and this did it before anybody. I think obviously, it would have been more successful if they had a more well-known cast of characters, but it's still great when a developer comes up with an idea like this and follows through on it because you don't see that a lot.
Hmm.
And there's no way you can deny that, Namco here has something very, very similar to, you know,
Yeah,
Super Smash Brothers before it happened.
yeah, and they're still making fighting games, so I mean, they could easily like either re-release this or maybe take it to the next level and release it as like an arcade title or something like that. It would be
I
really
think
cool.
Sony are one of the second party developers released a sort of Smash Brothers or both that had a lot of the characters from the Sony platform. I might be making this up in my mind, but I think Namco could easily make something where it's a little more cartoony and they take all the characters they have from their fighting franchises and just kind of go for it.
Hmm. One of the things I have to mention about this, the levels are really cool. They're big for one, but there's also something going on in every level. Like this one, they're in kind of like a aquarium, museum type thing.
Mhm.
And at the beginning of the stage, she sets a bomb off, and as time goes on, the whale blows up and drops from the ceiling. So each stage has that cool little thing in it that really,
Call PETA.
yeah. Well, it's funny you think the whale's fake, but now it's blowing water. So well, I guess it's the water from underneath it, but still, it's a really cool fact. And the stages are almost like a character by themselves, because they
Yeah,
factor in so
well,
heavily to the
they're
gameplay.
very, very detailed, especially for the time frame.
Hmm.
This would be a great game to play on my like PlayStation Network or Xbox Live or something like that. Um, just to kind of give a throwback because I think a lot of people think like Smash Brothers invented that gameplay style where it's like a big brawl, and they really didn't. Like this is one of the first, definitely.
Yeah, and
This is at
I don't
least.
think it was that widely released in the arcade where tons of people. Oh yeah, Outfoxies, I remember that game because I didn't until
Mhm.
I saw it later online. I was like, man, this looks like Smash Brothers kind of. It's got the huge levels. Like this level kind of looks like the Star Fox level.
And again, the graphics very, very, very detailed, especially for its time. Looks like a really cool experience to just have been able to play it in its time in the arcade. It would have been great, but unfortunately, it was before my time.
You weren't
But
around
I
in the
guess
arcades in 1994.
no, I was not. I was 6 years old, so I was at home playing Sega Genesis, probably Aladdin or well, wait, where did I guess? And people
Yes.
don't like that. Spider-Man 2. Um,
Spider-Man vs. Kingpin. We don't talk about that anymore. So awesome game. Like I said, my only complaint about the game is a little simplistic in the combat. So if they did make a newer version, they could improve that.
all right, guys, Wapeach.com recently redid the site. We have plenty of videos and podcasts coming in, and check us out. Take care, everybody.